Hello, all. Welcome. We're so excited to be talking to you today about source and sustainability. Today is Wednesday, February 16th, 2022, and I'm joined by Allie. Welcome, Allie.
Hello.
I'll make sure that you get introduced a little more here in just a minute. But for those of you who are joining in, I wanted to let you know that you have been muted automatically, but we still invite you to be a part of the conversations or ask questions along the way by using the chat that you'll find on the right hand side of your screen. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that. So please do use that if you have questions or comments as we go through the presentation today. Also, if you need to step away at any point or want to reference this later, share the presentation with a friend or a colleague, you will receive a recording of this as well as the slides and resources after we wrap up today. So with that, I will start us off on our introduction here. So I'm Brittany McLean. I'm the Director of Membership at Source. And for those of you who might not be familiar with Source or just starting to get to know us, Source is a resource for commercial construction projects and people who are working on those. So we want to be your partner really from discovery into delivery. So a lot of what we're going to be talking about today is really kind of focused on that discovery and decision making side of the design process, really helping you to see some of the tools that Source has and some of the things that we're finding that designers and clients are considering when they are making decisions about the types of products they're going to be specifying in their buildings, and giving you free resources for how to discover and find those products. And Allie is joining me to help with the tour. Allie, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself and introducing us before we get started?
Sure. My name is Allie Raymond. I'm our head of digital resources. That means that digital resources team manages all of the material catalog content on our digital offering on our website. So we're constantly dealing with lots and lots of data. We spend a lot of time in spreadsheets going over different product listings, applying what we're discussing here today, filters, so impact filters. And we are analyzing that data and making it available to you on our website as quickly as we can. Let's say that.
Love it. Well, it's good to have you joining me. And so, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. What we're going to be doing today is we'll start with sort of a little bit of background on, why we chose this topic as something we wanted to share with the community. Then we'll move into reviewing some of the most popular impact areas and impact filters. Allie's going to be talking a little bit about some of the ones that we see that come up quite common. And then we'll end by jumping into the Source website. Again, for those of you who are joining, if you haven't created an account, you're welcome to sign up, and there's no cost to do that. Everything we're going to show you today is free as a commercial design professional to be able to use. So you can follow along if you'd like, and then we'll wrap up with any questions. So I'll go ahead and get started, and really just to kind of back things up. I know these stats are things in the industry we see a lot, and it can I don't know. I find personally it can sometimes be a little easy to glaze over it because you do see that a lot. But when you really step back and think about what this actually means, looking just in 2020 alone, the fact that commercial construction was responsible for 39% of the annual carbon emissions, and also that we are the money that is going into it. So 13% of the entire global GDP goes back to commercial construction, and this is done by research from the EPA. And so it really is it's a huge industry, and we have an enormous power as people who are in this profession to make decisions that do impact the world around us, whether it's the people, the planet, even the money that the corporations are making, the profits. And so what we like to really think about when we're looking at the built environment is mindful specification can really be like a vote. You are voting for the people who are impacted by the spaces and the built environment that you're designing for our planet, what is the life of those products, and then the profits. So who are we giving our dollars to? And there's a lot of different areas of impact, and Allie's going to go over kind of a few of the main areas that we like to look at Source when it comes to sustainability. So Allie, I will turn it over to you to kind of get us started here.
Sure. Just want to start with a quick discussion on filters. So if you've not been on our website before, we'll show you what it looks like in just a minute. But when we say filter, it means we are assigning specific attributes to a product. Things like color or style, is it a red striped textile, for example, or is it flame resistant? Is it slip resistant? Or consequently, does it have a Green Guard certification applied to it? So these are all things we're evaluating with our filter categories on our website. So similarly to if you're on Zappos or Nordstrom, or a larger website where you're narrowing down your shoe size or heel height or something like that, we do the same thing on our website with products. So what we do, we divide them into different filter categories. And what we've done with our sustainability categories is break them into what we call 3 impact categories to really help you search for materials that fit specific needs. So 1 is in the certification labels category, 2 in content, and 3 in social sustainability. So we're really hoping to provide you with a product search experience that addresses climate needs, health needs, material health needs, as well as social sustainability. Is this a minority women-owned business? Does this manufacturer have sustainable manufacturing processes? So we'll talk all about that in just a little bit and review how to search for those filters on our website. But ultimately, what we're aiming to provide you is a holistic search experience with these sustainable filters, depending on the needs of your project. So next slide, Brittany.
Sure.
Thank you. Right. So first, we'll dive into certifications and labels. And we're just going to point out a few of our most popular filter categories, or these are also a few of our most popular or most commonly requested items on our website through research requests and through our rep designer portal, which Brittany will review in just a little bit. The first is an HPD and an EPD, and many of you may know what this is, but please excuse me if you already know what this means, but I'm just going to run through it really quickly. So an HPD is a health product declaration. It's a document most commonly created by manufacturers to disclose all of the ingredients in that product and any related health concerns from those ingredients. And most commonly in these HPDs, we see that they are not third-party certified. So manufacturers are self-reporting in HPDs. So just take that with a grain of salt. The manufacturer is saying that there are very low VOCs in this product. Look for something that is third-party certified as well, such as Green Guard certification or Forest Force certification, depending on the product. Secondly, we have an EPD, which is an environmental product declaration. So based on specific rules and requirements for various product types. But this, in contrast, is verified by a third-party panel. So that's really great news. EPDs include lifecycle environmental inventory and lifecycle environmental impact analysis, there's a favorite term, impact again, through from material extraction through disposal. So we're looking at the entire life cycle of the product in an EPD. And often we see that EPDs can be very general according to the product type. So for example, there is a TCNA sponsored EPD for porcelain tile that many manufacturers participate in. So keep an eye out for both of those products in terms of material ingredients and life cycle.
Perfect.
And those are both filters on our website.
Excellent. And I know you're about to kind of contrast that, but it is something too that, as we look at, a lot of these they're formatted similarly, but they can be a little bit challenging sometimes to dissect. And so on the next one, I think you're going to show us kind of some other areas to look at that, really are areas of focus. It might be a little easier to consume.
Yeah, so these ones are a little bit simpler and more straightforward. The first, Green Guard Gold. So certification is administered by UL or the underwriter's laboratory that tests a product to ensure low chemical emissions, so low VOC or volatile organic compound emissions, making healthy, breathable space, good for indoor environmental quality, indoor air quality, used interchangeably. The only difference between Green Guard and Green Guard Gold is that Green Guard Gold products have lower emissions, so higher standards are met in Green Guard Gold certifications in terms of emissions and VOCs. Another popular filter we have are Declare. We have one filter for each of these, so Declare and Declare Red Lips Free. This is essentially a nutrition label as stated by ILFI or the International Living Future Institute. where their goal is to bring easy understanding and transparency to material specification through ingredient declarations. So for a declare label, materials fall into one of three categories: LBC red list free, LBC red list approved and declared, and LBC means living building challenge. And then we have the difference between those three is quite interesting. So it's important when you're looking at a declare label to know exactly what you're looking at. If you're seeing something that is red list free on your declare label, or the declare label for the manufacturer, that means that 100% of the material ingredients in that product are declared, as it were. And a very, very minute amount of those ingredients may contain some red list chemicals, but all of them are declared and they are very minuscule amounts. If something is just simply LBC red list approved, this means that 99% of those materials ingredients have been declared and meet certain exceptions in there, but they may still contain some red list free chemicals. And then if it's simply just a declare label, this means that 100% of the material ingredients are declared, but they do have some red list chemicals in more than just minuscule amounts in that product.
Yeah, I think something good to kind of call out here. Like, I really love what the Living Future Institute has done with this program. I do think it is nice to be able to see something that's so much easily consumable, and to have it, if you've picked one of these up in your library and seen them, they are, they're right there on the product, which I think is super nice. But one thing to note is, and Allie, correct me if I'm wrong here, that there are other brands that have items that would be red list free, but the sort of the value in Declare is not only are they a part of this organization and having this label that's easier to read than like the HPDs and EPDs, but it really is that validation by the third party. Is that correct?
Yeah. So Declare, like Green Guard and like any of the certifications on our site, well, not any, but almost all of the certifications on our site, they are third-party verified, which is really important. So if you're on a manufacturer's website and you see that there is a letter from their sustainability director, for example, claiming that their products are LBC red list free, take that with a grain of salt and dig or ask us to find that declare label for you, because we're more than happy to do that, to ensure that these products are indeed red list free, because that third-party certification is really important, that verification. Just simply a statement of fact from the manufacturer is not enough. And that's something we take very seriously on our website. So if the manufacturer states that they have a Green Guard certification, for example, we go and find that to verify that it does exist. If it's expired, we don't add it. And if it exists, we add it, and then we do not give it a filter if the manufacturer states that it's Green Guard and there's no certification available. So we're very serious about that on our website.
Perfect. Yeah. And I think a lot of times, it's very well intentioned. I know we've seen where certain collections, maybe a certain percentage of them are, meet a standard, but then there might be a couple of SKUs within that collection where maybe they don't, and it sort of all gets together. So it is something just to kind of be aware of as you're looking, and also be able to help use some of the filters on source to help you sort through that. So,
and as you'll see on our site, there are various other certifications and labels that we look at, including Floor Score. We'll tell you if there are LEED v4 credits available for this product. It's level certified. Does it meet? Is it Kaiser approved? Is it part of the Healthier Hospitals Initiative? We look at all kinds of different certifications and labels. So take a look at our website if you'd like to learn more.
Cool. Move on to the next section, our content section.
So what exactly is in these materials? So let's take a look at some of our popular filters for this.
Perfect.
So I would say, if not the most popular filter, one of the most popular, if not the most popular, is PVC free. We get asked for PVC free materials all of the time through research requests, which Brittany will talk about in just a moment. But this is something we highlight on our website in both category structure and our filters. So PVC free means that the product does not contain polyvinyl chloride, aka vinyl. So this means products like LVT, VCT or vinyl composition tile, sheet vinyl, etc. Vinyl is a very, very sneaky product. You can find it in a lot of things like wall base, even some thermoplastic rubber bases do contain vinyls. So we are very diligent about looking at the content of the materials when we're analyzing them. So So we really try to highlight products that do not contain vinyl, as it has been shown to release dioxins that are persistent in the environment, and they're really bad for your endocrine systems as well. So, and did not create an overall healthy indoor environmental air quality. So we like to highlight that for you on our site. Another thing we look at are products with renewable content. So product that contains content that is rapidly renewable. So this means it grows and repopulates quickly. A great example of that is bamboo. It grows very, very fast, very renewable. Cork, cotton, wool, sunflowers, believe it or not, and natural rubber are all examples of renewable things.
Sunflowers is an interesting one. That's a newer one to me. Do you have any fun facts about the sunflowers? I love that this was in here, so I was curious.
We've seen some creative manufacturers doing some interesting things. So one example of a manufacturer is Organoid on our website, and they're actually making wall coverings, flooring products, laminates that contain seeds or husks, and I think as well as the husks. And some actually have petals from actual sunflower made right into a wall covering or a laminate tabletop covering. So that's really interesting. We've also seen examples of sunflower seed husks being used in concrete as an additive to help make it less dense and prevent cracking, although I'm not sure what the research is around that, if it's successful or not, but it's being used there as well.
Interesting. And what about leather? That's something that, I'm curious, is that considered something that's renewable?
It is in the grand scheme of things, but it is not considered a renewable resource by LEED, which is important.
Okay.
If you're working on a LEED project or a well project.
Perfect. One of the other things I know you mentioned about PVC and how that's one of our most, popular items. When I was, doing some research and reading, kind of looking at when we were talking about the global impact, one of the things that I did not mention as well that I really kind of stood out to me is that interesting enough, but something that really I think is going to become or should be more of a conversation that people are having with their clients and thinking about the spaces they're living in, is that the most significant predictor of somebody living near or in an area that had pollutants was their race. And, that is shown in multiple ways in different studies. And so again, the decisions that, the design community makes around the types of materials that are going into the environments that people are living in is, it has an impact that travels far and wide. So definitely something, again, I encourage you all, and there's, again, some resources that we can link about how to have those conversations with your clients and start to educate them on why they should pay attention to it and why, in the long run too, it actually will help their bottom line. So there's definitely some tools we can share. So with that, Allie, I'll move to the next section here.
Sure. So along with our discussion of Green Guard, for example, we also highlight products that are low VOC or no VOC. So for example, would be Ben Moore's Natura paint. Contains 0 VOCs. That's something we'll highlight for you on our website. So VOC product, it's little or VOC free or low VOC product. It's little or no volatile organic compound. There's so many acronyms in this presentation. Please forgive me. Content installed. So these are this is the smell of off gassing. So if you ever painted a bedroom in your house and you've bought paint that has VOCs, you know exactly what that smell smells like. Or a new car smell, lots of VOCs up there. So these are solid chemicals that easily become vapor, so they're airborne. And the presence of elevated VOCs indoors is linked to negative health impacts. So we'd like to highlight these products on our site for you to filter down and include in your projects. We also look at things that are bio-based. So a product that contains a verifiable and quantifiable amount of renewable biological ingredients defined by the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture. Typically things like linoleum, we love linoleum, that linseed oil, bamboo, hemp, cotton, linen, and wood. Other content filters that we look at are things, we're looking at biodegradable content in the product, compostable content. Is the product free of antimicrobial additives? Is it free of antibacterial additives? Is it free of flame retardants? That's a big one. Is it free of formaldehyde? Does it have post-consumer or pre-consumer content, recycled or recyclable? We're also looking at things that are phthalate-free in case you have the need to specify a vinyl project for budget constraints. We're also going to tell you if that product is phthalate free, if it contains vinyl, but does not contain those harmful phthalates. So really trying to give you a lot of options on our website depending on your project needs in these content filters.
Perfect. So move on to the last group here, which is our social impact filters.
Yeah. So social, our last group of filters. This is more of a cultural filter. We're really trying to look beyond just health and material content, looking at impact filters from a holistic point of view. So this is what we do in our social section. One of our filters is we're looking at companies that are certified minority or women-owned businesses. So these are businesses that are owned by at least 51% by women or minorities. The certification promotes economic and social development in communities. So we do try to highlight brands and manufacturers that meet this. We don't have many, so if you know of any, please send them our way and we'll get them added to our website and start chatting with them soon. We'd like to include more. We also look at companies with a Just label. So this is not a certification program. It is administered by LFI. So it's a transparency platform for organizations to disclose their operations, including how they treat their employees. So all about employee health and well-being, and where they make financial and community investments. So again, run by ILFI, who does declare regardless free. This is just a really great label, and we have a few firms that we work with who have Just labels as well. So it's not just manufacturers who can obtain Just label.
That's super cool. Yeah, I think they're doing some really great stuff. So definitely encourage you to check that out if you haven't. And again, they have a lot of transparency that you can look up organizations and who have that Just label, if that's something again that you want or is a part of your project's goals and that you'd like to support. So perfect.
Just add that we can think of the Just label as the nutrition label for companies, just like Declare. Yeah.
Love that.
All right. We also highlight products that are made in the USA. We have another filter for made in the Pacific Northwest, and we're expanding that filter for other areas as we move into them. But we're looking at products made here in the United States, assembled and manufactured in the USA, often for federal, state, or local projects. This is purely material assembly. So this means that some material ingredients could be sourced from outside of the United States. We do highlight that in our product details. So it may perhaps be in the USA, but the course content from this product has been brought in from Canada. We'll let you know where the country of origin for that is. We also have a popular filter called the Product Take Back Program. This is for manufacturers that have an established program where they take back products at the end of the useful life cycle for that product. So a great example is carpet. There's a lot of carpet everywhere, a lot of corporate buildings, workspaces. It's just, I don't even know the facts on that, but there's just a ton of it. And so what a lot of our carpet manufacturers are doing is implementing product take back programs. So when that carpet is removed from the space to install new carpet, it's sent back to the mill and it can be recycled back into itself. So companies like Shaw and Patcraft have programs like this. Sometimes it is only for specific backing types. Some backings can't actually be broken down back into itself, but if it's EcoWorks, for example, it can. So they break it down, and then just turn it right back into more carpet backing or more carpet fiber, which is really great. And some of those companies will even bring about, if you meet a certain minimum, like recycling 50,000 square yards of carpet, and you meet that minimum, they'll bring you out to the mill so you can actually watch that recycling process happen, which is fascinating. Yeah. Let's see, other filters in this category include companies that ship carbon neutral. So Design Tech's a great example of that. They have a selection of products that do ship carbon neutral, and as well as their samples. Companies that are B Corps, companies that are employee owned, we'll highlight that as well. And then lastly, companies that we say have sustainable manufacturing processes. This is a really important one for us because there are a lot of big manufacturers with very big budgets that can afford to buy or pay for certification labels like Declare labels and green card certificates and floor score certificates. But we have a number of really great smaller manufacturers who are making fantastic products. They just don't have the budgets to obtain those labels. So this is a great feature of impact filters, is in that you can look for other attributes among these great products from these smaller manufacturers. So something like sustainable manufacturing processes is a really great one. For example, McGrory Glass, based out of Philadelphia, I believe, they've installed an entire system of solar panels on their plant. And I believe that's finally started to pay dividends for them. And so they now have net zero energy consumption. They've also installed a closed loop water system. So all of the water they use in their manufacturing process is reused again for their manufacturing process. So they don't have a ton of labels and certifications of their products, but they are doing great things in their manufacturing. So we'd like to highlight that for you to take a look at.
Yeah, I think that's important. Cool. Well, with that, looks like we're ready for the next part of the tour. So I'll turn that over to you, Allie, to jump onto the source website. And again, everything that we're about to show you, the interface, this is available to you if you don't already have an account. Allie will walk us through again how to kind of find these filters that we just talked about and use them on source. And then I'll share some additional tools and services that we have for helping you with some of the questions or research that you might have.
Great, so I'll get started. This is our product catalog. This is the whole thing. So you can see we have almost 250,000 products. Resources, these things like books and binders. You really just need a specific carpet binder for your project. And we have a number of brands for you to take a look at. This means that, not all of their products are uploaded. We have products from about 380 brands uploaded on our site, but we do feature about 2,600 that you can take a look at and peruse categorically.
Hey, so, Allie, real quick, yes. I don't know if anybody else is hearing, your audio is just a little bit delayed for me. So if we both turn our cameras off, I think that might help while we're doing the screen share. So I'm going to turn mine off too. I think that'll help it. Just real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure we can hear the tour.
All right.
That sounds better already.
Perfect. Thank you, Brittany. So here on the left, you'll see all of our filters. Keep in mind, this is going to be revamped very soon, so this might look slightly different, but the goal is to help you easily navigate through all of our filters. So you can see we have things like brand. You can break down by brand, by series or pattern. Here, collection, application. If you're looking for a ceiling product, for example, color, style, and look, shape, and format. We have 10 of them, and then down here we have our 3 impact filters. What's really great is if you're curious, you can click on that question mark, and this will take you to an explainer for all of our filters. In case you're wondering what an antibacterial additive is, we'll tell you about that right here. So I'm just going to take a random gander through our catalog using our sustainability filters. So I'm going to go to interior products, and let's say I'm looking for a quartz countertop. So I'll go to finishes and surfaces, countertops, and here is quartz. You can see we have about 20 quartz manufacturers. We scroll down and see what those are. And say I'm looking for, I think it's a marble look. Go here and say I don't really care about the color. I just want to see what the options are. And scroll down. Say I'm looking for something with a Green Guard certification. Let's go with Green Guard. That's the wrong one. Green Guard Gold. Let's say I'm also looking for a product that's made in the USA. Let me click that here. And it looks like Cambria is our only manufacturer that has Green Guard marble look made in the USA. So we'll click right in here. And this is our standard product detail page, or PDP, for a product. And you can click through here and see all of the various colorways within this series, this luxury series. And what's great about this listing is you can download the high-res image for this product directly. You can download the spec sheet. And what we do here is actually highlight each of those important product attributes. So if you want to see the declare label, we can click and see the declare label here, and you can download it, or Brittany will talk about how you can download it from your project in just a moment. We can see that this product is LBC Red List approved, but not Red List free. So 99% of product ingredients disclosed. You can click here for the Green Guard certification as well. So all of that sustainability impact data is brought up front for those certifications and labels. We scroll down, We see a bit of product detail information. You can also see that I'm based in Oregon, and here's my rep, Rochelle, and her contact information. If I scroll down a little bit more, we also link to things like cleaning. You can view this product directly on Cranberry's website. We'll link the STS, the 3-part spec. So all that information is here for you in an easily downloadable space. And then here is a summary of all of the impact filters that are applied to this product. Above, we're just highlighting those that are important so you can grab those labels and certifications really quickly. We also see that this is a low VOC product. It is in the Mindful Materials database. It's Green Guard and Green Guard Gold. We've given you the Green Guard Gold up above. So this is our typical product PDP for sustainable materials. Now, if I wanted to do a search rather than just straight off the bat, looking for a quartz, for example, and I'm looking, say, I know exactly what I'm looking for, and it's Patcraft, their new title collection, for example. That search will bring up that title collection right here. You're like, I know this has sustainable content, but I can't quite remember what it is. We'll click on this colorway. And we can see that this has a bunch of sustainable content here as well. So you see that it has recycled content. It's PVC free. It's cradle to cradle, has an EPT and an HPD. So really great, all the information here at your fingertips, a ton of product information, and then our rep Christine here. And again, that's all summarized here at the bottom. So this information is very easily accessible for you. I would point out that if you ever are perusing something and you find an expired label, please do let us know. We try to change those out as regularly as possible, but we do sometimes miss them. So please let us know and we will get that replaced. We'll track it down for you and then get it replaced on our website. We're always happy to do that. Another thing I'd like to point out, and I saw that someone mentioned vegan leather in the chat, is how we organize our product categories for some categories. So a great example of that is textiles. So if you go to interior here, you can also navigate from up here if you'd like, and then go to fabrics. What we do for you is we divide out the type of fabric. So felted, leathers, non-woven, and woven. And a vegan leather would fall into what we call a non-woven category. And we further break that down into PVC-free or vegan leathers and vinyls. So vinyl, of course, lots of vinyl content, that PVC, that polyvinyl chloride, we do pull that out for you. And if your project requires it for budgetary constraints, go ahead and click on that. And we also offer PVC-free alternatives here. So these are things like your polyurethane, your silicones, and your silica, all here in one spot. And you can see we have 26 manufacturers that have products that meet this criteria. And then you can further refine down here with your impact filters. Another area where we break out kind of sustainable types is in resilient flooring, because we know there's a lot of vinyl there. So we do that here, and you can see we've broken it out by, linoleum. LVT has its own category. We have a bunch of really great PVC-free resilients that sit here. And then, of course, your rubber, which is also naturally PVC-free. And then VCT and vinyl sheet flooring are all corralled separately, but we are trying to, in categories where it fits, pull out those PVC-free products for you. So those healthier materials we're highlighting in the category structure as well as in the impact filters. All right, that is my spiel on our website for impact filters and categories. Brittany, would you like to take over?
Sure, yeah, I'll share my screen. I know we've got a couple more minutes here, and we've appreciated the questions that come in or have come in so far. So give me 1 second just to make sure that I'm sharing the right window here. So are you seeing the source page, Allie?
Yes.
Perfect, excellent. So as Allie showed you, there's a lot of stuff that you can really search and browse on your own. As mentioned, we work with hundreds of different brands and have, what is the total catalog size right now, Allie?
About 250 at the moment, but we're constantly dropping discontinued products, adding new ones, so it fluctuates, but
250,000 products, right?
Yeah, we've got an upward trend.
Yes, yes. So our catalog is constantly growing, and we really do. We work with the manufacturers to get the information onto our website as well as our own team. Again, like we mentioned, validating that we do have those declare labels or Green Guard certifications. And that is a process that, we have to work in conjunction with these brands and manufacturers. So there's some brands that have elected to upload products on our site and have us kind of start with a more basic listing, but they do have these certifications and labels. Or again, if you're just, if you are in a pinch and like our team's help, there's a couple of ways that we can help you. So the example that was mentioned earlier about, looking for a good a vegan leather. So when you're logged in, you'll see this library concierge tab up here, and then there's a product research request. So this is something where you can fill in, it's a pretty simple form, asks you for your information on the project, and then really it's an empty canvas from there about what you need help with. So we've seen things exactly like the question that you had about, hey, I'm looking for some options, for a vegan leather that really does have that touch and feel and, is of a good quality, doesn't look like, the kind that sounds like you've stumbled across, or if it's something like, we have a low budget, but this, for this project, but having something that's PVC free or something that's made locally is really important. Really, the more information and details you can give us, again, if there's certain certifications or social equity things that matter, you can check those off as check boxes, or again, just including it in that information. You can upload a file. So if there's something that you're wanting to match, again, we're looking for a product that is Green Guard Gold that will, be complementary to this color palette. Can you give us some options? And our team will look not only in our catalog, but, work with other do research to help present you back options. And then from there, if you'd like to order samples or have additional questions, our team can help with that as well. So when you do that, it will ask you when you need it by. We've definitely all been there where you need options quick. So if you need it in a day, let us know. But if you have a week, please, I encourage you to be open with that as well. So that way our team can make sure that we not only prioritize, but have the best options. And what happens once these are submitted is most likely you will be if you're in an area where we have one of our physical locations or in one of the same states, your client success manager will be the main kind of point of contact, but they'll be working with our team who we've got experts who have worked in the industry who will be helping them to do that research. So they might reach out if they need more information, but we can definitely help you with finding products that fit those needs, or again, helping to sort of explain about what some of the features are. And I know we had a question that came in about, kind of comparing two products and sort of how we would go about doing that and looking at the different attributes, in terms of like how long a product lasts versus some of the, maybe negative sides in terms of the content. And that's a really great question. And I would say, again, that's something you could submit as a research request. Another great way to do that, and we really love our rep community and see that the people who are working and representing these products, they are true experts, and there's a lot of great reps out there. And so you can also access our Rep Connect. And so, for example, if I was looking, I just had some questions about paints and coating. I could go here and I could select the paints and coating, and this will break down. Again, I'm filtering by people in Oregon, but you can look in any of the 50 states. And I can choose to, email one rep at a time, or I can multiple select. I can say, hey, these are some brands I've worked with, or maybe ones I haven't before. And then I can start by asking, giving a topic. So whether it's help finding a product, needing like technical questions. So this might be something like that. Hey, we're considering these options. What is the information that you have? How would you compare yourself, or what are some of the considerations to talk to my client with? There's also things like product pricing, lead time. So I'll go with the technical questions. Again, these you can do these one-to-many, so they won't see if the other reps that you are emailing. It saves you time, and all these responses will come directly back down into your email. So yeah, you can type a message, give them a little bit more information. It's actually going to make me do this. I'm just going to put a little test here, and then show you if you go next, you can also check, change how quickly you need that response, so that it flags it in our system. And then this source has your back. We'll make sure, we'll check in with you to see if, that response has come into you. And if not, we can help, make some phone calls or do some research to help make sure that we get that answer to you in a timely manner. So those are both things that are available. Again, the library concierge product research request or Rep Connect is a really great way, again, if you're trying to find out some more information. We also do host weekly product presentations. They're about 20 minutes long. All of those are archived on our site. There's a lot of great, if you're looking at a specific product type, we can point you to those as well. It has a lot of information and, comparisons. We'll talk about, what are some of the differentiators between the products. So those are those features. One other thing I want to show you is, Allie mentioned, I think we were looking, it was Pat Crafts, right? Allie was one of the things that you were showing up on the screen. So pull up one of these carpets here just to show you guys real quick. If I decided and I wanted to, take this information, this looked like something I was interested in adding, I could add this to a project. And if you have a new one, you haven't started one on Source, you can, right from here, you can create a new project and it'll just have you enter a little bit of information. But from this view here, this product view, one of the great things that you can do once you've added products, whether they're from the source catalog or you can also add things on your own, things that you've found that are not currently in our catalog. But you can take these and you can export. So you'll see this product export up here. What's awesome about this, especially for things that are in the source catalog, again, where we've collected all that documentation, the sustainability information, what it's going to do is it's going to download a zip folder. Within that zip folder, you're going to find a CSV that has an outline of, kind of all these categories that you see here, except it'll be even more expansive. It'll also have a folder that contains all of the images, as well as a folder that contains, and again, it's broken out by brand and product, all of that documentation. So instead of clicking each individual PDF to download it, it really speeds it up. You can have all of the materials that you're interested in, all that documentation filed away in a nice sort of tidy folder. So with that, I have my screen share on, so it's hard for me to toggle back to see. Allie, are there any questions that have come in?
Just typing up a response to Richard, but I can answer it now rather than typing. So that's a great question. The trade-off between two different products that have two different environmental, say, characteristics or lifespans. For example, one is very sustainable, but may not have as long of a lifespan. And then the other trade-off is the other one may be less expensive, last longer, but contain harmful chemicals. So how do we deal with that trade-off? I think it's more of, I would say it's like an existential question, but it's more of a kind of redirecting your thought. For me in the past as a designer, my former past as interior designer, has been to redirect my thought about what my sustainable goals for this project are. And who are the stakeholders, and are they liable to bite on something that is more sustainable but perhaps less efficient or less durable over time? So these are looking at things like, does your project have climate goals? Does it have material health goals? Does it have social or cultural goals? And that your material selections should inform this, is my personal opinion. But Richard, we have a great resource from ILFI that I can pop here in the chat. In terms of how to discuss sustainability with stakeholders and talking points from that regard. Post that right now.
Here. Oh, perfect. You got it.
Oh, it's not like back on. But yeah, that's a tough question to answer, and we're happy to provide more resources. I think that's, for me, that's kind of revolving around stakeholders, whether or not your client will go for it. So hopefully that resource from ILFI will be useful. But again, you can also use our filters to look at things like EPDs and take a look at life cycle analysis throughout the life of the product to help inform your decisions or help convince your clients to make that decision. We are proponents of sustainability, but we won't get up on a soapbox because we believe in presenting all products on our website. So So that's my shtick there. Yes.
Perfect. Great. And I don't see any other questions. So hopefully this has been helpful. I'm also going to drop a link to our events website or event webpage here that talks about some of our upcoming events. One of the ones I do want to just call out as well that we'll be talking about, it'll be a week from tomorrow, is we're going to be doing a feature on FF&E and how kind of in a post-COVID world, some tips for expediting that. If that's something that you guys are working on, you'll find that on our events page, and we invite you to sign up for that and any of our other future upcoming events, or you can also go back and review some of the presentations we've had in the past. But please do reach out to Source if you have questions following this presentation. Again, these slides, the recording, and some of the resources that we have linked at the back will be sent to you after the presentation today. But with that, I don't see anything else. So Ali, I will we'll sign off here. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And we hope to see you all again soon. Thank you.
Thanks.